Well, hello! So, still getting used to this new camera setup, so please be patient with me. I am super excited to share this video with you today. There's a project that I've been working on for a long time, and I finally get to share it. So first, a little bit about the notebook. This was actually part of the Chic Sparrow Orphan Grab Bag sale a while ago. I guess back in August or September. That must have been August. And so it is a Pelican A6. I hadn't tried anything in the A6 size before, and so I decided that if I was going to get an Orphan, I might as well try a new size. There's no flaws or anything. It was just a leather, I guess they were discontinuing or something. I have just a little dragonfly charm that I have no idea where I got, and then a little binder clip on the top. Briefly about the pen. This is a TWSBI Mini in the rose gold with the white. I got it at a little pen shop in Wilmington, North Carolina when I was there at a conference. It was a discontinued model and it already had been discontinued, but I got it because there were issues with the rose gold flaking off. But I love this pen so much. All right, so my project. Big news. This is part of the project as well. I'll go through this in a minute, but I am, by the time this is posted, I will be 15 weeks along and finally have shared the news with everybody, so I get to share it with y'all as well. So we are expecting our third child, super excited. If you don't know my story, I've dealt with infertility for, I guess, first diagnosed 8 years ago, or over 8 years ago, and we had a loss last September after we'd been trying for our third for a year. So we're really excited, we were really scared, and I'm still anxious, but yeah, so this has been since last September when I got pregnant before my pregnancy journal. So I have everything in here from that pregnancy as well as the current one. So I made a couple of, I don't have anything in the pockets with it. I made a couple of folders to go with it, and currently I just have some lab order and a journaling card in there for some reason, but any sort of paperwork or anything that I want to keep, I will throw in there. I have one of the, I believe it's a North notebook that I cut down to be A6 size. Just used a rotary cutter to cut that down. And to keep my place, I finally have a use for my pregnant lady ollie clip that I got a long time ago. So this was my first, the pregnancy I had in the fall that ended in a miscarriage, so different things, keeping track of the weeks and all, and then also keeping track of when I miscarried. But this is the current pregnancy, so I did a spread just to talk about the positive pregnancy test, all the pictures. I used my LG little pocket photo printer. So that's really fun for this, to be able to print out pictures of everything. And for each week, I do kind of a rundown. In the early days, I did feelings and symptoms, any milestones. As that's grown, I started talking about sleep. Later on, I start talking about eating and what I'm looking forward to, occasionally what I miss, which is usually not feeling awful. I did a spread about telling my parents. Love my mom's face in that. I was holding my phone when we got out of the car and we were visiting her, so she didn't realize I was recording. In fact, I still don't think she realizes I was recording it, but the shock on her face with it was pretty awesome. First ultrasound pictures. Again, I love my little camera, the little camera printer. It's not a camera printer, it's a photo printer. I take pictures with my camera, with my phone camera. Finally got it together to take a belly picture, because with your third baby and fourth pregnancy, you show really super early, I learned. I still haven't written down about my first birth center appointment for this pregnancy. Another ultrasound. And I'm filming this a week early because I know I won't have time next weekend. And I haven't filled out, I'm 14 weeks today when I'm filming this. I haven't filled this out yet. But I wanted to just be able, when my first pregnancy, I kept a blog where I did my weekly check-ins and talked about everything and kept track of it. And with my second pregnancy, I did nothing. And so I have no record of how I was feeling at a given week, what anything was going on. And I knew I didn't want to do a blog this time, and so I decided this would be a kind of low-key way, low-tech way to keep track of that, so I can have something to look back on. This is our last planned child, and so I want to have that record to look back on. Another folder that I made was scrapbook folder, scrapbook paper. And then a notebook. Again, this was just cut down. These are the notebooks you can get in Michael's in the dollar spot area, or the kind of dollar spot area. And I cut it down because it's the right width for A6, but it's slightly too tall. And for a personal, it's the right height for personal, but it's slightly too wide. But I just cut it down, and this is more just for kind of journaling. I haven't used this a lot lately, but I used it especially in the first pregnancy. Just anything that I didn't want to do as a formal log in my notebook that I could journal about. And I plan on continuing to add to this all through my pregnancy, but also after the baby arrives, to be able to do like each week different things that the baby's doing. And I didn't start, some people might wonder why I didn't start a new notebook after I lost the baby last fall. And that's because it's all kind of part of this journey, I feel like. If I hadn't lost that baby, I wouldn't have this baby. And so it's all part of this story. So that's the reason I kept it all in one notebook. So briefly, I wanted to show, this is the, I believe it's Recollections brand pregnancy planner that you can get at Michael's. I got it on Black Friday. I wasn't pregnant at the time, but I was hopeful. I got this and also the small exercise planner because I figured I'd hopefully be able to use one of them at least in 2017, and found out on January 2nd that I was pregnant. So my exercise planner, I'm planning on changing the dates and using for next year because I've been too sick to even worry about any of that for this year. But I like this setup. It's kind of something I'm using as a supplement to this, and I haven't used all the different features of it, especially in the first trimester, but I like just to show some of the spreads at the beginning. It's a place where you can talk about when you told people, and I have been keeping track of that in here, but I just haven't written it here. Girl names and boy names brainstorming. Baby shower guest list, which you probably won't use because this is a third kid. Gift log. Baby gear checklist, again, third kid. We have like everything. Hospital bag, birth plan, and then general notes. So for each trimester, it has a monthly spread. It has several monthly spreads, and they're all blank. You fill in because obviously Recollection doesn't know when you're going to get pregnant. And they have stickers in the back that you can use to fill in different events throughout your pregnancy. And you could also use these if you're using another main planner. You could put some of these stickers in there, but since I don't use stickers in my main planner, I decided not to. So the only thing I've been keeping track of with the monthly is lab work, I'm mostly just using stickers, and also the big people that I've told, the ones that I wanted to make note of when I told them. So that was the first trimester. And then for each of the weeklies, it has whatever week it is, then you write down the dates. It tells you, I love this, the baby is the size of, and it gives you that information, which I really like to have that handy. Notes and thoughts, little smiley faces for how you've been feeling, little emojis, and then some stats with weight, belly measurements, kick counter. Obviously those aren't going to be very relevant early on, and then cravings and things I can't stand, as well as space for a belly pick or whatever other pick you want to put in there. So I haven't used this because I'm also using this. I haven't used this perhaps as much as I might otherwise, but it gave me a place to put some of my lab results, and keeping track of when I've told people. I do plan on eventually going back and filling in some stuff from here, putting it in, especially the notes and thoughts section. But yeah, I haven't, again, my one lone belly pick that I've taken so far this pregnancy, I'm not using this perhaps in the same way that others might. But I do really like it, just to keep track of everything in a more formal way. Since this is kind of more of a journal, and whatever I decide to put in it, this is more formalized with each of the days, and standardized, I guess, in a way. It has sections at each for information about doctor's visits, where you can put information or pictures of ultrasounds, which I haven't printed out to put in there yet. And then obviously as you get further along, there are more of them because you're going to the doctor more frequently. The third trimester, I feel like, is mostly the doctor visits. And then you get to the section that is the big arrival. And so that you get one monthly spread, information about the baby, journaling pages, birth story, and notes. And then there's section in the back, lots of room for notes. And then all the stickers, including you can fill out some of your own. There's a folder in the back, which I just tucked in some information back there. There is a clear pocket back there, which I just stuck in some other stuff. And yeah, so this is the record system that I'm using to keep track of this pregnancy. I greatly appreciate any prayers that you want to send my way. As I said, we're still, even though we're past the most dangerous time and we've gotten nothing but wonderful reports once they fixed one issue, it's still just an anxious time for us, just since we've been trying for a while, and especially after the loss. But we are super, super excited and so appreciate the support. That's a big part of why I kind of disappeared earlier this year. Once I decided to come back, just because I was so sick and so exhausted, and just I could barely keep on top of the stuff that I had to do to keep the household running, and I just could not have the energy to film. So thank you for bearing with me with that. This will not become a pregnancy or baby channel. I don't really plan to talk about it in any meaningful way beyond this video, so don't worry, this will still be planners and bags and stuff like that. But I did want to share this with y'all because you're important to me, and this is a big part of what's going on with me right now. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and have a wonderful day. Bye.